What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Benji. We back balling indeed. Go ahead and hit these buttons down below. Hoops HQ. Go ahead and follow on all social media platforms. But brother, I got a question to ask, and it looks like uh, we're getting that question online right now, man. Shout out to Hoop Venue because we've got a video. How good are the Cavaliers with Donovan Mitchell? And I think that this is the question everybody needs to figure out. So I mean, let's get straight to it, man. Let's see what this hypothesis is, and whether or not we agree with it.
Took a huge step forward in their progression with a blockbuster trade for Donovan Mitchell. The addition of a multiple-time All-Star to an already solid squad has many wondering just how good this team is. Are there reasons to be concerned with the fit of their players? How does their dynamic on both sides of the ball actually work?
Quick question. I think a lot of people had the issue with how is Collin Sexton's return going to affect the growth of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Doesn't Donovan Mitchell bring the same thing? I don't know. Y'all let me know.
And are they true championship contenders? To answer all of these questions and more, we first have to look at what exactly Donovan Mitchell brings to the table.
Let's see.
To make a long story short, he's one of the best shot creators in the NBA and a solidified offensive star. The threat of his attack starts the moment he crosses half court due to his pull-up three-point shooting, where he's got range extending all the way to the parking lot and is a phenomenal difficult shot maker. He's also got a super smooth and quick motion to pull the trigger with a live dribble, meaning he not only forces tight defensive pressure, but also needs just small windows of opportunity to comfortably knock them down, which he's able to create with the use of his hand and agility. As a result, his three-point talent metrics across the board look impeccable, landing in the 98th and 90th percentiles for shot creation and shot making, while being just 5th in shot quality. A large portion of these shots come in the high pick and roll, where he comes off a screen multiple feet outside the three-point line, and if he's not met with some resistance, will torch the defense. This means bigs have to play aggressive coverages at or near the level of the screen, which then makes them more vulnerable to Mitchell's brilliant slashing. At just 6'1", he's a traditionally small guard, but he's got an extraordinary amount of length and checks off every box when it comes to athleticism. His change of speed is among the best. He's got both a lightning-quick first step and can stop on a dime. He can also change directions just as easily and uses long strides to get around defenders near the basket. This makes for some great rim pressure, and as of last season, he took a huge leap as an interior finisher that took him to another level as a scorer. He's always been vertically gifted, which made for some strong flashes of above-the-rim finishing, but it's his crafty use of length and soft touch that make him so effective. He's also got a nice floater, and when cut off down low, loves to pivot back to the short mid-range forward jumpers. The ability to get into the paint from outside and convert at a high level is one of the most effective ways to force collapses and rotations, and when paired with the aggressive coverages he forces on the perimeter, he's able to break down the defense at a level that only a few players can. By no means is he a top-tier facilitator, but he does still have some awesome traits as a passer that allow him to capitalize on this extra defensive attention. What immediately stands out to me is how much range and velocity he has, capable of hitting shooters on every inch of the floor in very tight gaps. He's comfortable making cross-court reads with a live dribble, can deliver with either
kids, bro, those are nice passes right there,
and utilizes jump passes to make up for his lack of height. To me, this skill set is enough for him to consistently leverage his scoring threat into much easier opportunities for the team around him, making him one of the league's very best on-ball advantage creators. The key word there is on-ball, as much of Mitchell's offensive value comes from what he's able to do as a primary ball handler.
And this is why I have to see how
does he fit with Darius Garland in the back?
Thank you.
Garland is also a premier pull-up jump shooter who generates a ton of his opportunities in the high pick and roll and uses his handle and agility to dart into the heart of the defense on drives. His technique as a downhill attacker is a lot different though, as he doesn't have the same vertical gifts, length, or strength as Mitchell, so instead of converting directly at the rim, he often elects to go straight to a floater, pull up somewhere in the mid-range, or pass. That passing is probably his best skill, where he has just about every delivery, manipulation technique, and creative angle you can possibly think of, while being an outstandingly quick decision maker.
Oh my gosh.
This makes him one of the league's most prominent on-ball
But like, bro, you
players
have to
with
get.
his
I'm just saying, you have to
over.
keep the
SC2
ball in his
can
hands a
bend the
majority of
defense
the
both
time.
outside and down low, while capitalizing at a very high
The
level.
majority of the time.
Now, when he creates these advantages, it's Mitchell's job to connect the offense and continue working off of that advantage for easier scoring.
Well, I mean,
He's
shoot.
not
If they're anything like how Mike Conley was with Donovan Mitchell, I could see that. But we did have an all-star point guard in Darius Garland. So, I mean, will one of the two suffer? Let's see.
really thought of much as an off guard, but I would argue he has two key traits that could make him a very strong connector. The first is, of course, his outside shooting. He's already offering a decent amount of spacing, but can also score directly off a pass as a spot up. The second is that explosive first step, which he can use to attack quickly off the catch and at closeouts to generate more paint touches, completely breaking down an already bent defense. But what about when he's the one handling the ball? It's somewhat overlooked, but Garland has a pretty great off-ball skill set. He's one of the smartest, most active movers at his position, and is a lightning-quick decision-maker off the catch, both as an attacker and with passing reads on the move. Overall, I don't think these two will have much trouble playing off of each other at all, and when you have a pairing of two elite pull-up shooting pick-and-roll ball handlers who can get downhill, next to arguably the best rim runner in the NBA, that's when you start to see it all come together. Jarrett Allen is a huge lob threat and overall strong interior finisher who draws a ton of defensive attention on the roll. He's also got sneaky good touch as someone who can score effectively from floater range, put the ball on the deck and self-create when needed, and is a decent passer. Those three together are the building blocks for a top-tier offensive team, and that's without even mentioning the raw potential in Evan Mobley. As a rookie, most of his offense came in small flashes, but within those moments you saw capabilities of both handling and passing the ball, great off-ball movement, positioning, and strong finishing at the rim with a decent mid-range game. Who knows how much of this will actually come to fruition and how fast it will develop, but when you're also getting some offensive juice from depth pieces at each position like Ricky Rubio, Caris LeVert, and Kevin Love, I feel pretty confident in saying there's already a great structure there. The biggest question with this Cleveland team is how they'll look defensively. Many have voiced their concerns with the two small guard lineup where neither are very good at the point of attack, and they've already drawn quite a few comparisons to the recent instances of the Utah Jazz. While it's true their perimeter resistance does look pretty shaky, I think comparing them to Utah is only telling half the story. The Jazz had two huge problems. It wasn't just the fact that they had weak perimeter defenders, but also that there was never a secondary rim protector on the floor. Rudy Gobert had to patrol the paint at all times because when he wasn't, their defense was a layup line, which just isn't the case with the Cavs. Both Mobley and Allen are phenomenal rim protectors who are mobile enough to switch out to the perimeter or play aggressive screen coverages when needed, making them arguably the most flexible and versatile front court in all of basketball. With that being said though, I do have some concerns with their options on the wing. The most popular and seemingly obvious choice is Isaac Okoro, and while he is already a quality defender, he doesn't provide much of anything offensively and hurts the spacing with lackluster shooting. Caris LeVert is another option, but now you're getting nothing defensively on top of a pretty clunky fit next to that star-studded offensive backcourt. Then you're left with Lamar Stevens, Dean Wade, Cedi Osman, and Dylan Windler, none of which are really ideal options in any scenario. To me, they're just a connective 3-and-D wing away from having arguably the best starting five in the NBA. But as currently constructed, how good is this team? Before we get into my evaluation, though, I want to give a quick shout out to one of us.
Let's hear the evaluation.
It's important to note that before losing Jarrett Allen to injury last season, they were actually the number 2 seed with 56 games under their belt, and they essentially replaced Lauri Markkanen with Donovan Mitchell in the rotation, which is a massive upgrade regardless of fit. For this reason, I think they are more than capable of snagging a top seed in the Eastern Conference, and are one of the most exciting regular season teams to look out for. The playoffs are a different story though, and as of right now, I do think they lack just a bit too much in the depth chart when it comes to wings and forwards to truly compete with these higher end contenders. But while I don't view them as a legitimate threat just yet, keep in mind that their core four
once you kind of take the big
21,
names out of there,
22, 24, and 25, leaving them tons of room to not only grow individually, but as a team. If Cleveland is able to keep this group together and improves their wing rotation, I think they have a great chance at becoming a top-tier contender for the foreseeable future and one of the best teams of the 2020s.
What do y'all think?
If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn my post notifications on to be first on more content.
What do y'all think? Who won the trade? Leave it in the comments below. Stay tuned to the next video.
Social media profiles. You can find